Good morning, my name's Anna and you are joining me for Wake Up Well this morning. This morning we begin our new series about looking to the future and having hope. And this morning we're just going to focus on one verse in Hebrews 11 verse 1, and it says this: Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. I'll say that again. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. This verse contains those words faith and hope. Both are separate entities, but both are related. A definition of faith could be to have confidence, assurance, or trust in something or someone. Faith is often rooted in the present or in the past, whereas hope is about looking to the future. It's that expectation for something to happen that is currently unseen. It's almost like if you had a building, faith would be the foundation that hope is built upon. And if the hope is strong, then it means that the foundation of faith is good. But if the hope gets shaky, it's often because the foundation of faith is shaky. I'm just going to give an example from my own life. Myself and my husband were trying for children for 5 years. And during that time, God had given us many promises and many words that children were coming, both directly, straight from Him, but also through lots and lots of different people who didn't know us and didn't know our story or what was going on. And now I know that God does not lie. And the Bible and my experience constantly tell me and remind me that He is faithful, that He is good, and that He is faithful to His promises. But 5 years felt like a long journey. It was longer than I was expecting or hoping for. And during that time, it was really, really important that hope was kept alive within me. That expectation that God would fulfill His promises and come through. In all honesty, at times it was a real struggle to keep hope alive, especially when the reality of what I saw wasn't lining up with what God had said. When I couldn't see the results, when it was very much fixed in something unseen. But in those moments when I spent time with God, He would always ask me this question: do you trust me? Remember, faith is a trust in something or someone, and God was calling me back to the foundations of faith. When my hope was lacking, He was calling me back to the foundations of faith and saying, do you trust me? Because when our hope level is high, it's often because our faith level in God is high. When our hope is low, it's often because our foundations have become shaky. Today I want to ask you the question: what are you hoping for? But not only that, but where does your hope come from? What or who is it rooted in? You see, as followers of Jesus, we should be people of hope, because we have a faith and a trust in Him, in His goodness, in His faithfulness. That should always give us hope. But our hope has to be rooted in that faith and in trust in God alone, in His character and in His promises. Jesus once told a parable about a wise man, and this wise man built a house, which is a kind of metaphor for his life. He built his life upon a rock, and that rock was Jesus and His teachings and His promises. And the story goes like this: that the rain came down and it began to flood. And there was a man who built his house on the sand, and that fell down. But the man who built his house on the rock, the house stood firm. The man who built his life upon faith in Jesus and in His teachings and in His promises, his house stood firm. So when the storms come, and we know that they will, there is hope that we can face anything, knowing that we are connected to God, that we are stood upon the foundation of our faith in Him, that He will keep us from falling, that in Him we'll have a life that is eternal, that even goes beyond death. That should give us hope. This life is not the end. What we see is not the end. What seems to be our reality is not the end, because there is a greater reality. This world is not the end of the story. And that, my friends, should give us hope.